Hey guys, and welcome back to Professor Layton and Pandora's Box. Our time on the Voluntary Express has been fun, but now it's time to disembark and head into the sleepy country village of Dropstone. Will we find more information on the elusive Elysian box, or just simply a load of like jams and, I don't know, farm life bopping about the place? Probably. I've watched Emmerdale before. I know what goes down in country villages.
Well, also there needs to be a lot of cake.
Ooh,
needs to be just cake everywhere.
Shit, man, that's the good stuff.
Yes, and now I feel really sad because the Great British Bake Off is dead.
Oh, sorry. Richie does not have many triggers, but Bake Off is one of them. I'm sorry you had to relive that disappointment, mate.
I know. It's just so sad. Like it was a British hallmark, and now it's dead because the production company wanted more money.
Yeah, did they take it to another channel and it just instantly died?
Well, no, so they've taken it to Channel 4. It starts next year.
Oh, okay.
But they've lost Mel and Sue and Mary. So they've basically lost the majority of the reason for watching the show.
Huge shame. Huge shame. What are we talking about again?
It's a British show about British people making and eating cakes.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay. See, if maybe they brought that over to America, we'd be so delighted by all the Britishness it could get more sponsors.
Hey, you've got Cake Boss, alright. Stop bogarting the cake shows.
Yes, and we didn't want Cake Boss, but it ran anyway.
Oh, send her back. He ain't done yet.
Well, I will point out that there is actually a version of the Bake Off on American TV. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but Mary Berry does do judging on it, so it is there.
There you go.
But yeah, it's just the whole village fates thing. You just think of bunting, and it's just very fundamentally British, I feel.
Jeez, a dramatic farewell. We're not even like 5 minutes into the party yet.
Goodbye, Sammy Thunder. Click.
Goodbye, Mr. Jojo. Alright, below is a painting of a man and a woman bidding each other a tearful goodbye. Somewhere in this painting, however, is a single unrealistic detail. There it is!
Oh, good! I was concerned for a minute there we wouldn't be able to find it, but there we are.
Why is it unrealistic, Richie?
Because how the hell is glass going to go up through the roof? Because there is literally nowhere for it to go.
There you go.
Unless it was some sort of magic shrinking glass that sort of folded up as it went up. But I don't think they've exactly invented that yet.
Well, yeah, it's called Flexiglass because it's flexible.
And I mean, they certainly would not have invented it to go on a train like the Voluntary Express. So,
Only the finest class, none of that commoner pleb shit. Alright, this is where, like, finding, or, like, scouting and finding hint coins becomes a wee bit trickier because, my god, they look to hide really, really well. So expect to see the yellow radar blip of not findingness. Man, I'm really not on my game tonight, I apologise. It's fine though, the country air will do me good.
I hope so. But I mean, the reason that the hint coins are often so difficult to find from around this point onwards is that so many of them are hidden in chimneys. So it's just like, which bloody chimney? And then a lot of them are found in little pebbles on the ground, and you're just like, which one? There are like 60 gazillion.
Just had to come to Pebble and Chimneyburg, didn't we? Couldn't stay in London, where the buildings are so tall the chimneys literally cannot be on screen.
So they're what, like they're a low-end chimneys, basically, because
Shut
they can't
up.
be on screen?
Shut up. Oh wow, 50 years, not bad. Although that is, that's relatively recent for a village, don't you think, Richard?
Well, it's incredibly recent for a village. I mean, you look at the majority of them, in the UK at least, and you're looking at hundreds upon hundreds of years. You're talking maybe a couple of hundred years for American villages and towns, but the UK, we're pretty ancient, so 50 is very young for anywhere.
Actually, what happened is that this village was around for a while, and then they rebooted it with new characters, new shops, things like that. It makes it so much better for, like, modern tourists to come in. I thought it was a great idea.
Man, I love the Dropstone DLC. It's the hypest shit. Beluga's being very mysterious right now.
Yeah, guys, if you're gonna keep your secrets, you're gonna have to do a little bit of a better job and not being so fucking cryptic about it. They're trying to not give it away in any indication whatsoever, just gonna throw that out there.
You see, in these visual novel type of games, unless your text has brackets around it, you're speaking out loud, so you've got to be careful about that.
Also, it's nice to see that Mr. Beluga is playing the pronoun game. Just going she.
Ah.
She's like, who is this she?
Well, yeah, good point, because both Dropstone and the Monetary Express are 50 years old, like, this year.
Well, yes.
It's probably nothing.
Probably. No, I mean, why would it be anything?
Alright, Richie, still need to work on your subtlety game, mate. I see it's not improved from Until Dawn.
Well, you see, it's because I'm not trying to be subtle at this point. Because the game's been out for nearly 10 years.
Kind of no point in hiding spoilers a little bit, yeah, but still.
I mean, literally, next year, November, this game will be 10 years old.
Shit, man.
Oh, I feel old.
That's older than Flame, times by like 3. Okay, second puzzle of the day. Wow, we're on a roll here.
Well, I mean, it's a village that loves puzzles. Of course we're going to get a buttload of them. Although I have to say, it's not the village with the most puzzles located in it. I'm sure there'll be one maybe a little bit later on that's just going to be bursting at the seams with them.
Alright, A, B, C, or D, Helldragon?
It's C.
Alright.
Yeah, you totally haven't seen this puzzle before, have you?
Oh,
Helldragon?
yeah, you know, I'm just, like, completely out of nowhere.
And the point of that puzzle was, Rich?
To waste our time?
Yeah, I mean, so the whole gist of it is you've got to try and make it so that they make a cube. That's the only one that that just will not go together in any orientation to form a solid cube.
The stubborn shape.
Yeah.
Really? That was your best? Jesus, if you were a Pokemon trainer and you came up to me with that shit, I'd be like, go away.
I worked on that puzzle for 10 years, refining it every single day, and you cleared it in 30 seconds, oh my god.
Well, to be fair, my father was a mosquito, so my brain isn't really all that. Country folk. They're inbred.
You would think that for somebody that's shaped like an egg, he would have a master plan already. I don't get it.
Man, we're horrible to the end. I don't recall us being this awful to the robots in the first game.
Oh, trust me, I was horrible to all the people in Curious Village. Yeah, it's been a while, but trust me, I was.
Okay, fair enough. You ever been to like a country fete or festival, Rich?
I'm not sure, to be fair. I must have done it at some point in some form, because obviously been on holiday to the Lake District, I've been on holiday to the Gloucester area, I've been on holiday to Cornwall, so I must have been to some sort of village fete in some form, but I can't actually remember any specifically, but that's probably because it's just one stop on a holiday, so...
Yeah, fair enough. That's fate as in F-E-T-E, not you cannot change your F-A-T-E, by the way.
Yeah, we've all seen Bites the Dust, come on.
And speaking of fate, that was one ominous shadow person back there with a particularly glorious mustache. I'm not saying it's a recurring character, but you'll have to wait and see who exactly it belonged to, that shadow.
Man, we are so good at just kind of hiding all this, aren't we?
Are you really sure it's not a recurring character? Because, you know, just the sheer fact that you brought up recurring characters suggests that it might very well be.
Yeah, it's Chelmy. Jesus Christ. Police officers love to work in the shadows, don't you know? Oh, we get a puzzle from Flora, of all people. I very nearly said Fiora there.
Someone's got a little bit too much Xenoblade Chronicles on the brain.
Indeed. A, B, C, D, or E, Helldragon.
Give me a minute, I gotta freaking read it just to understand what the hell they're asking. The actual path of the axle, I'm guessing E?
No, it was A.
A? It was A, yes, A. You know, I was trying to pronounce it out. E-A.
Oh,
give me a
no.
minute.
Not on the correct path at all, is it? Yeah, oh boy.
That's true.
Helldragon, what you needed to do was you needed to say it in a Geordie accent, because then you can get away with sort of blending all sorts of vowels together.
It's like, you know, so I busted like a Canadian. Is it A, eh? You know, something like that.
I'm part Canadian and I find that offensive.
Fair enough, I find it offensive too.
And the reason I say Geordie accent is because basically it's just like don't know whether I can actually do it, but it's just like yeah, or something.
We're just gonna make guttural noises now.
Puzzles with Professor Layton, like.
We would be the worst apprentices to Professor Layton. I want to see that. I just want to see him try to teach us a gaggle of motherfuckers how to solve puzzles, and we're just completely cocking it up all the time. That would be hilarious.
Alright, a chance to redeem yourself here, Helldragon. Which arrow?
Well, season 1, obviously.
Ah, I see. A, B, or C?
B is sounding like a beautiful number today. Letter!
Yeah, it's B, because all you gotta do is follow it from the feathers at the end of the shaft to the bag at the end, and you'll see that only one creates a straight line, and that belongs to B.
My favorite number, yes.
Now, the reason this is a difficult puzzle, well, it's not difficult, but it's a Poggendorf optical illusion, where if you have, break something up in the middle, the line doesn't necessarily look like it's straight, so it's very easy to get confused by other things. But obviously, we're just on it with these types of things, so we weren't fooled in the slightest.
Did you say that was called a Poppendorf illusion? Was that what it was called?
Oh no, Ganondorf's illusion!
Yeah, because I'm fixing to say that's like Ganondorf's distant cousin, who's actually not a bad guy at all. Oh, my cousin's acting up again, I'm sorry.
He just wanted a home in the country, really.
No, it's Poggendorf.
That still sounds like Ganondorf's cousin.
And, yeah. Got the Endorf bit right. So, yes. But I think, Tom, you quite like this lady, don't you?
Well, maybe not so much the lady herself as the minigame she allows us to partake of following victory over her puzzles. You'll see. You'll all see. I've mentioned it many a time before. But first, we must save the trapped bird.
I know why the trapped bird sings.
Ah, he seems to be panicking down there a little bit. Good job the snake's asleep.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Okay, A does lead to the snake, actually. I just kind of ran through that really fast. Well, I know how to kill it. That's important, alright? You either lead it to the snake or you suffocate it, and I'm sure that's useful somehow.
I want to know how the bird got down there in the first place, because none of the tunnels seem thick enough or wide enough for it to get down there. Oh my god, look at it!
Oh my...
Fucking aqua necklace shit right there.
That's like Clayface, the bird.
It is very curious as to how it got down there.
Laurel, you buried your bird accidentally, didn't you? It's like in, National Lampoon's Holiday Vacation. She wrapped her damn cat. Oh, here we go.
We have a tea set minigame!
Quite right.
And it's glorious. Oh, we have, proper tea leaves and everything.
I'm not really a tea leaves person, to be fair.
I prefer them bagged, but I'm a tea pleb, so...
Yeah, same here.
So, I imagine you're gonna get all, the ingredients first and then kind of mix them near the end of the game, or are you just gonna mix something right now?
Well, I will tell you how this tea minigame works, because we had to cut out the tutorial due to, various recording issues. As we go through the game, solving puzzles will grant us many things, but sometimes you'll get new tea ingredients, and you can use those to, mix together and create new brews to solve people's various thirsts, and various people like different kinds of brews and whatnot, and I believe you get hint coins from this, don't you, Richard?
I think when you give them to Layton and Luke, you do, yes. So basically whenever you brew a tea, you get a hint coin, I think. But that's not really that important. What's important is that you brew the teas as soon as you get the option to, because that will make it so much easier for dealing with stuff a little bit later on, because the tea minigame really is in two halves. You've got the brewing the tea, so that you have all the different types of tea that you can create, and then you have the giving it to people, but you don't give the tea to people until the final third of the game, actually. Which is a shame, but then again, considering you are as you'd probably expect, going to be prevented from ever returning to Dropstone after we've left it, that would kind of be a bit mean, because if you miss people, then there is no way of getting back to them to be able to complete the minigame.
One cool thing is, you don't have to memorise, like, what ingredients go into, like, the brews and whatnot once you've made them, because they'll be, like, I think, like, preset and whatnot, Richie?
Yes, so basically you go into tea time, and then you can just select the blend. So essentially you have got to figure out what would be best for people, depending on what they ask for. So obviously Layton wants Oasis Leaf, Briskberry and Citronia Seed, which is the Citrus Classic.
Of course, as the American of this bunch, I'm not a big tea fan. Sacrilege, I know. I don't like hot drinks, really. Like, even like chocolate. I'm the guy who will literally take, like, those powdered, like, cocoa drinks that they have sometimes, and you're supposed to mix, like, it in, like, warm milk. I will just have that shit cold, and the problem is when you do that with cold milk, all the shit sort of floats to the top, so I have to get a spoon and I have to scoop it all up, and my sister would just be like, "You're a fucking idiot, man."
Isn't that just Nesquik drink, what you described there?
It's sort of like that, but it's not designed to mix that way. Like Nesquik, yes, it will mix, obviously, with milk. But, I mean, with the hot cocoa stuff, I didn't actually buy Nesquik. So I'm sitting there like an idiot, scooping, like, and they're the tiny-ass dried marshmallows that come in this.
Mushroom
like, I'm just scooping
coffee.
this in my mouth, yeah.
So what's the deal with these two particular requests, Richie? I remember we had a little bit of trouble getting them to activate.
Yeah, so basically what you need to do is you need to open and close the trunk until it says help. And you can't do them until it does that, which is really irritating. I mean, it's just entirely luck-based as to when they will turn up, and it's the same with all of the tea drinking minigame stuff.
Yeah, there's a certain aspect of, like, RNG, as we go through the next town area that you'll see. People get, like, I don't know, anime sweat drops above their head and whatnot,
yes,
indicating that they're thirsty, and until that point you cannot, like, activate the tea minigame. But other than that, it's probably one of my favourite, if not my absolute favourites, like, minigame in any Layton game, honestly.
I mean, it is glorious, and it's so quintessentially British and Layton, and it's just perfect.
Mm-hmm. A, B, C, or D?
C.
Okay, let's see.
I hope it's C.
You are correct, sir.
Yo, I actually looked at it real fast and actually tried to solve it this time, and I didn't completely bullshit.
Ooh.
That's exactly how you're supposed to solve puzzles. Congrats!
Yeah, I think I figured it out. We Americans are a little slow on the uptake, as we have seen over 200 years of history.
Well, there's a very good reason why I'm not putting the puzzles, like, on myself this time around, so I won't worry about it. It's because I'm dumb, that's the reason. Oh, a new hamster toy.
It's a flower, which I'm not sure how will help the hamster lose weight, but I guess we'll give it a shot.
Ah, we will indeed. Laura, I don't know how to break this to you, but we've kind of already made, like, a couple of very distinct and individual brews.
And also, we've made the Citrus Classic, and we've also made the other one. So, kinda don't need you to tell us how to do this right now.
Oh, and Laurel, like, she gets a single tear rolling down her cheek, and she's like, "Finally, I can pass on. My secrets are now known. Goodbye, goodbye."
And then she just dies right there. Just a thump.
She vanishes like in Kingdom Hearts when someone loses their heart. Now we're going to do the hamster minigame.
And that means that we're going to be able to give lovely THD here a bit more of a workout.
Ah, he's currently at level 5, which is Blobby.
Wait, that's why would you name the levels, first off? Secondly, you just spent all that effort on the tea. Why don't you give him some magic weight loss tea? Like, we can brew one of those, right?
I don't want to poison your hamster counterpart, okay? Alright, Richie, explain how this one works, because we also had to remove the tutorial for this.
Basically, you've got to put the items on certain places, and lovely THD here will walk towards each of the things. When he recognises it, he will only go to... He'll prefer to go to certain things over others. I think so. You've got to make sure that you put them in a very specific orientation so that he will actually go to them. But as long as you do quite simple things like this, it's very, very easy to get the path pretty right.
Feel this tomorrow for sure.
Yes, the hamster speaks and has an American accent.
Well, this like they should have gotten like a you know that other guy who does Danny DeVito instead of Danny DeVito in like Kingdom Hearts, you know? That
Yeah,
guy?
I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't know his name off by heart.
They should totally have gotten that guy to be the hamster because I think that would have been the best thing.
Oh, well, whatever. Can't have everything you want in life, I guess. Oh.
Well, you should get him to... Because obviously he should have done the hamster here as well. He should also do Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
Because obviously, while it would be amazing to have Danny DeVito be the voice of Detective Pikachu, that might be a little bit difficult to get. So if we could get the guy who doubles for Danny DeVito to be Pikachu, I think will be good.
A, B, C, or D. Or E.
Hold on. Okay. I think I figured it out.
Yeah. Got a slight inkling.
I mean, that line kind of doesn't really... It gives us a bit to go on, but it's just that nice little bit of a hint, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, my hypothesis was correct.
So that one you were just looking to see which trees were level. And I suppose it's, in a way, it's similar to that optical illusion that we dealt with before, where if you have certain things in between things that are level, and everything else is off level, then it sometimes makes it look like they're not level, when they probably are.
That's like trying to find an error in like a string of code or something. That shit always fucks me up.
Man, you know, I just realized if we're trying to get a hamster THD to, like, lose weight, you should have sprinkled, like, new computer parts and, like, bits of JoJo around, because he would walk so far for those.
And I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more. Oh no, he's dead! He died! He didn't get a chance to feed himself! Should have sprinkled some Cheetos along the way. Are you related to the goblin we met on the train? Just asking.
The train is late!
Farewell! Well, I guess we're stuck here for the duration of this chapter. There's plenty to see and do, though, don't worry. It seems like a countryside with nothing but bumpkins and vegetables and various jams, but there's plenty of puzzles hidden under the surface.
Hey, look, it's that windmill that survived Don Quixote's reign. We should go talk to it.
Huh. Very suspicious reaction there, Senor Goblin. Oh my god, look at his name! Cost you. As in, it's gonna cost you. That's right. That's right.
That is all you get, Tom.
I'm just gonna let you soak in that victory there.
Feels good, man. Feels good. I'm damp. I'm damp with victory.
Did this motherfucker just threaten me with a puzzle? I mean, that just seems to be what the tone he was getting across there.
Yeah, he got really arsey all of a sudden when we brought up, like, the Elysian box.
Shh! Can't mention the Elysian box, Tom. It's clearly an issue.
Ah, okay. Well, we're inside the puzzle dimension now. He can't hear us. That goblin fuck can't do shit to us.
Consider this puzzle solved. A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
That one involved numbers, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I think, actually, it's basically trigonometry in a way, I suppose.
Trigger-wattery?
Trigonometry, it's to do with triangles and...
The devil's math.
Why don't they call it triangle maths then? Rolls off the tongue more easily. Also, I very much doubt that dude was the world's best golfer, but I'll take your word for it, I guess.
He's got the world's best nose, I can tell you that now.
That's a town hall. Sure is. Sorry, that sentence meant to go somewhere, but the words were out of my mouth before my brain could catch
I
up.
was fixing to say, you bring that up and I'm like, okay, let's engage here and see where he's going with this thought. And then it just kind of puttered and died.
They decided to do the thing they were already planning to do.
Yeah, I think it was around this point in the game we were just like, game. You can stop telling us now, please.
Yeah, we literally have an itinerary here. I know you can't physically see it, but you gotta believe me, it's there.
Also, I love how they've got a wreath on the town hall, but it's not Christmas.
Is that a specifically Christmas thing, Richie?
Well, it tends to be. Do you ever see wreaths about?
Not outside of funerals, no.
Oh, so everybody here is dead. Oh, that's pleasant.
Oh, they're mourning the town hall.
It was such a good town hall, and then it got corrupted.
Did this dude fall out of a Shakespeare play or something? He's the most foppish, NPC we've seen to date.
And his name is Jax.
I think Shakespeare's going a little bit too early. You're probably looking more Jane Austen, Dickens era, to be fair.
Right, so more Blackadder the Third than Blackadder the Second.
Yeah.
You bring up that whole Jane Austen, Charles Dickens thing. And considering we're watching, Layton, which is made by, Japanese company, there's an anime out there about people with powers related to books. And I think the main antagonist or some of the characters are actually Jane Austen and fucking Charles Dickens. Shakespeare is one of them. This is a real thing. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I think it's Bunjo Dogs.
What?
That just sounds ridiculous and awful.
Well, I want to watch it for exactly those reasons.
I mean, yes, definitely. But it's one of those things where you hear it and you just go, I'm sorry, what were you smoking?
Boys Club, I was ripped alive by weasels.
Negalated down there, right in the bottom.
Oh yeah, he's a Dick Dastardly sort of Layton. And instead of Luke, he's got a Muttley instead.
Uh-huh.
Who can talk to humans, that's his ability.
There you go. Have you seen, I don't want to call it post-apocalyptic, but it's that line of DC comics where it's you got the Flintstones, you've got Johnny Quest and the other Hanna-Barbera heroes.
Man, I've seen some of those, and I have no idea what the fuck they're trying to do with the Flintstones. I mean, people are like, oh wow, this is so great. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just you're taking something, the Flintstones, and then you make it more serious, and that's not really that original or good. I mean, was this really a better upgrade to what the Flintstones was? I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get the point of it.
Well, the Flintstones was always satire, as it were, and now it's just been updated to do more Mon stuff, but still keeping it in that caveman era. And I can't believe I'm defending the Flintstones of all things, but it's a genuinely good comic, and I all recommend you go out and check it out.
I don't know.
I'm the Hell Dragon. Comic
I'm sorry if I don't like junk. Yeesh.
Well, it's not junk, so shush. You've let us down, Albert. For the last time.
Unfortunately, this kid's last name is Wesker, so Tom will know his wrath.
Oh, jeez. His mundane origin.
Well, yes, but it's fine because he's just gonna vanish in a volcano or something. This is actually one of the puzzles which is different depending on the version you have.
Uh-huh.
So in the UK release we have the wrong date, which we're going to solve here, but the American version has the secret message. It's very similar in terms of its structure, and the solution is entirely the same as well. But what you've got on the monument is the numbers 8, 12, and then the words red.
Huh.
And basically your answer ends up being 813 bed.
Right.
But to be fair, I don't think that quite makes any sense. So I'm quite glad they dropped it for doing the UK release, because it would have been just
yeah. What, are you trying to tell me to stay in bed on that day? Don't leave the house?
Man, I tried to do that all the time. You got no idea.
Oh, I take all my advice from fountains. Curiouser and curiouser.
I mean, this is literally a curious village, eh?
Man, I've had enough of curious villages to last me a while. If you guys turn out to be sentient monkeys or something, I'm fucking checking out.
Well,
right?
I hate to break this to you, Hell Dragon, but what is a human if not a sentient monkey?
A miserable little pile of secrets?
Excuse me, sentient ape.
There you go.
But enough talk, have at you!
Layton. Not everything is a puzzle, mate. Sometimes it can just be the front of a town hall.
Man, the line in the bathroom sure is long. I say, Luke, this reminds me of a puzzle. Do I look like I'm in the mood, Professor? Oh, God, it's that guy again!
I know, and also this is talking about voters and running for mayor in elections. Unfortunately, can we just skip this puzzle, please?
Too late.
Hey, I demand a recount on this vote.
Here goes.
You voted for him! You did this!
Their blood is on your hands now. Man, the Electoral College simply does not work.
Biting, outdated satire by the time this goes up.
Well, I mean, it's fine, because all that will happen is that there'll just be a tweet saying about how stupid we all are, and then we'll all move on with our lives.
I want to get a Trump shout out for HFC, that would be amazing.
That would be kind of bizarre, but kind of neat at the same time.
That's just making me think of the SNL sketch, which went out the other day, which he's then tweeted about. It's just hilarious.
Alright, now back to action. I may have done one puzzle too many, but are there gigantic floating cow balloons in this here vicinity?
Yes, because this is a countryside village where they're rural and they do farming, so they have cows and they celebrate cows.
Tom, you have to understand, Pokemon having not been invented yet, they need something else for their parade balloons, and cows are the only marketable creature around for that kind of thing. Trust me, when Garfield and like Charlie Brown get out to the boondocks over here, they'll be able to upgrade and join us here in the 22nd century.
What era of fucking England do you think Professor Layton takes place in?
Oh, clearly the one with fucking robots and killer Ferris wheels that roll after you.
Oh, don't forget, like, fucking Cockney-ass London.
And that's true, and, Don, whatever, and he had his, Robotnik machine, so, I don't know, clearly nobody knows what the fuck's going on here.
I believe we talked about this in Curious Village, but it's a lovable mishmash of, like, I would say, 60s to very, very early 90s.
Well, so in terms of technology, it's pretty much present day, because there's quite a few things in the franchise which would just be impossible without modern day and even future technology. But then you've got some holdbacks from like the Victorian era, namely Layton's top hat. Like, we don't really do top hats these days unless you're dealing with stuff from like the 1920s.
Or, you know, a pantomime villain.
Well, even some Panto villains have top hats, but most of them don't actually.
Pokemon Sun, Moon, and Rain.
And hat.
Oh, the Pokemon Hat. I want Pokemon Hat.
Well, Tom, isn't it Pokemon Cloud? There's no moon here.
I don't care. I was trying to make a fucking relative joke.
I know, and unfortunately, in this instance, I'm gonna have to say you failed miserably. I'm sorry.
Damn, man. Just got owned.
I guess his hat has enough off days during the week, which is good, because you have to worry about the workers' compensation for hats. It's like a new thing they're working on.
Ugh, gotta rest your hat every so often. Don't want your hat to get overtired.
Well, you see, this is important because clearly our hats are Doris, and she's taken over this world. Just hasn't made it into her own image yet.
I am glad that I caught on to what you were talking about there right away. So Meet the Robinsons reference, Eldragon.
I'm fixing to say, because I'm like, what the fuck is he going on about now?
Let's ignore the hat lover and go explore a little bit more of Dropstone.
You know, I'm really glad that Flora decided to come with us, because as the mage, she has access to the healing spells that we will require at certain points in the game. Yeah, I know that was a very thrilling joke for you, Tom. You're just gonna have to sit there and suck it up.
That looks like a final boss location up there on the hill.
See? Why do you think we brought Flora with us?
Okay, don't blame me if we wipe, because she's never around to do anything useful.
they're building up to Flora's magical adventure, which is never going to happen. But one thing that I do like is that, obviously, the first game we met Flora. This game, she tags along but doesn't really do anything. And in the third game, she actually gets to solve puzzles, which is really cute.
We did kind of diss her character development and usage last time, but when she's there and she's getting in some good dialogue and whatnot, and creating and solving puzzles, she's an enjoyable character. So it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been, yeah, definitely.
Also, name pun, Parcell. He was destined to become a postman, let's be honest here.
Yes, although I have to say, I feel really sorry for him, because what parents call their child Parcell?
I don't know, who calls their kids Don Paolo? Don Paolo, when I say that, it sounds like he's really good at soccer, I just realized.
Say it with me, Don.
Don.
Paolo.
Paolo. Okay.
You know what, never mind. I'm just going to focus on the game, I'm going to cash my checks and leave.
Well, no, I think we can get through to him. So, Hell Dragon, think of it like this. So, it's Don, and pow as in a punch, like comic book punch, like pow. And then low as in you're going low, so it's pow low.
Well, when you hit people Paolo, you're just going to get arrested for that.
Oh my god, he said it! Don was at the beginning, but he's getting there.
Oh, hey, Pearl, how you doing?
I'll show you how to solve puzzles in the real way. God, she's more triangle than face right now.
That's true. She's like a Phineas and Ferb kind of character. I know.
Jesus, that's a great show, by the way.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I heard good things about that.
So, obviously, there's the golden era of the Disney Channel, which is what I basically grew up with. That's when you had, your That's So Ravens and all sorts of other things.
That's
going
not
on
the
at
golden
time.
era. That would be the early to late 90s, mate. You're talking about, early noughties.
Well, yes, I am talking about early noughties, but sort of the golden era stretched for quite a while, I feel.
True, it did. That was how good the Disney Channel was. And they used to have, movies on either every night or Fridays at 7 PM in the evening, which was pretty great because you had no advertisements to break them up. It was just movie from beginning to end.
And then the adverts decided to get in.
Well, we got Netflix. We got Netflix now, so it's all good.
Exactly. But yes, Phineas and Ferb was one of the more it is one of the more modern series, although it's getting old now, which is horrifying to know.
Well, it's over now. I'm pretty sure it's concluded because a new show by the same creator, which stars Weird Al Yankovic for some reason.
Yeah, I read about that. It was I forgot the exact title, but it's about this guy named Murphy, this kid, who, because he's in this family of Murphys, everything naturally bad happens to him. But he's very chipper about it, which seemed like a neat idea.
Milo Murphy's Law, yeah.
So yeah, Phineas and Ferb actually finished 2015. Good lord, but it started in, officially premiered in 2008, so...
Wow.
It's 8 years old!
Damn, man. That's 50 times the amount of, years Flame's gotten so far. Always finding new ways to shit on the fucking Flame. Okay, let's actually get back to the game now. Although it's really hard to concentrate when her pinky is so pointy.
I'm gonna get you in the eye with this.
It's either this or the nose, take your pick.
No, it's like The Simpsons, the touch of death.
It's like she's trying so hard to be posh. It's just that's how posh people drink tea and other sorts of drinks. The pinky just comes out, and I've never quite understood that. I think it's something to do with getting balance. But it's just just grab the damn thing and drink.
Alright, just to show that we were paying attention there, or at least I was, there's a dude by the name of Mr. Anderson. He basically owns the village. Mr. Anderson. Wet Willie, Mr. Timberlake. But yeah, his daughter is apparently planning on leaving the village. Mr. Anderson himself does not know anything about it, but the servants do, and they're cheering the child on. So let's watch on and see how things go.
This is starting to sound like a repeat of Curious Village in a different way.
I wonder if they wrote this chapter, or, the story like this because of that fact.
I have a feeling they did. Like, this seems a little bit too similar. I would not be surprised if they were trying to call back to the previous game in this way.
I think that would make sense. Largely because obviously they would have had the idea for the plot of Pandora's Box at the same... Because obviously, when they were creating Curious Village, they were pretty much also thinking about Pandora's Box because of how close they came out from one another. So they were probably thinking, well, let's have two narratives, one that are either side of the same coin, almost. So in both you have villages, in both you have a girl wanting to leave.
Okay, and I think we should leave it there unless you spoil certain plot elements.
Well, yes. I was just going to say, obviously one leaves at the end of the game. One perhaps is going to be leaving in the middle of the game.
Well, first third at the very least. Glad to be out of that triangle's apartment.
Yeah, Pearl, man. You gotta clean up that place.
Yeah, this is like pre-season 3 Pearl. You don't want to be dealing with that kind of angst. Now, that's a vagabond if ever I've seen one.
And we've seen a lot of vagabonds here on HFC.
Roamy, you get it? Because he roams a lot. Willing to bet that didn't really go over so well. Beluga doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would enjoy, like, a crossword puzzle or a word search.
Well, of course not. He's a bloody miserable blugger? Bugger.
The bloody bugger.
Or blubber, if we're talking about beluga whales.
Oh, we got another sliding puzzle.
Now I can understand why Mr. Beluga got mad, because these are absolutely terrible, so that's really not the puzzles you should be giving people, just saying.
Exactly. And also, I like how the second this turned up, my eye just started to twitch. I was just like, oh.
Why does the dog get to call out the numbers?
Because he's got one of those things from Up that you strap around a dog's neck and it allows them to speak.
No, look at his tail. He's like holding onto like a box knife. Like, that's why they let him call it out. Because he'll cut a fucker.
When I count up to 50, all you fuckers are gonna die.
11. 12. See, wait, no, what, if the dog can get on there, why can't you just go down, pick the thing up, and then walk around the crates and the suitcases to get back to the front?
Oh, Helldragon, you naive slut. That's not how this puzzle works.
Was that really the label you wanted to use for me?
No, I just like saying that phrase every so often. There we go. He got nowhere near 50. We live to breathe another day.
And there we have it.
Spot the murder dog. Vicious.
That'd be a good puzzle.
He'll come for you while you're sleeping, kids. Lock your doors. Well, we'll find Mr. Beluga, and we'll give him a better puzzle, and maybe he'll stop being such a fucking stick in the mud.
Oh, thank you for solving my puzzle. By the way, do you have any food?
He does have important information for us. So apparently there's a phantom town that the Momentary Express stops at. But nobody has any idea where it is, what it is, and all that sort of stuff, or how the train even gets there.
So, I think you're right, Helldragon. We are essentially going to Hogwarts at this point.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that vibe.
Well, perhaps not Hogwarts. Probably more Diagon Alley, or Diagonally, or Hogsmeade or something.
What was the American Harry Potter school called again?
Ilvermorny.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Something along those lines, yes.
Why isn't it like the Martin Luther King Institute for the Magically Talented? That makes no sense.
Well, because, these things are ancient institutions, and Martin Luther didn't come about until, like, the 20th century.
There was a person named Martin Luther before that, I'm afraid. He was involved with Lutheranism.
Leave it to me.
That's right. Check your internet for all your wonderful American history facts. But yeah, just going back to the Hogwarts thing, you can actually enchant, like, abodes and locations to be unchartable. Like, you can't literally, find them on a map and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that's how things worked for the Quidditch World Cup in Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, isn't that also basically how Hogwarts is invisible to muggles and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, basically.
And also I feel the need to say, if anybody gets the chance to go see Fantastic Beasts or haven't seen it yet, so good. So good.
Ah, that little shack. In fact, this entire area gives me warm fuzzies. It reminds me of a certain curious village and a certain rampaging Ferris wheel.
Why is their outhouse all the way out here?
Must be a bitch to go to in the middle of the night when you desperately need a piss.
Psst, I gotta go to the bathroom. All the way out there? I guess I'll hold it until morning.
Ah, fuck that, we're rich. Come here, servant, I'll do it on your face.
Nah!
Oh.
They have chamber pots for that, dude.
Yeah, it's called Jarvis.
Ah! Yes, that's water, dude. You gonna jump in?
Review Tech USA cannot find the fish that he's looking for.
What the hell is that? No, it must be nothing. What the hell is that? No, it must be nothing.
There's some guy drowning in the water, I've got to save
Oh my
him.
god, it's Johnny!
Oh, Jesus.
No, it's Gabe.
Must avoid making Half-Life 3 joke.
You see, that's what he was looking for in the water. He was looking for the number 3.
It's not the fucking Sword and the Stone, some worry bit's not going to come along and chuck a disc of Half-Life 3 at your head.
Well, to be fair, that's probably the only way that it's actually going to happen.
Alright, puzzle time. Oh, it's 33 as well!
Look at this net that I just found. When I say go, solve this puzzle.
Let's see. The answer to this one is...
7?
Yes.
Oh my god, I just guessed. I literally just guessed.
It's your lucky number, mate.
Leave it to me.
Booyah!
Seems to be your lucky day as well, Helldragon. You're doing a phenomenal job on these puzzles.
Yeah, I'm not even fucking trying, but if I start putting in effort, of course I'm gonna get them all wrong.
And when I start thinking, things seem to come together for me.
Hey Johnny, when are you gonna review Rystar? I've been really looking forward to that.
Yeah, get on it. I miss Rystar.
Well, hey, if Marvel vs. Capcom can get a new game, then maybe Rystar will get a sequel one of these days.
We'll see. Oh, hey, Charmy. I thought you'd be skulking around someplace doing your job.
Yeah, and you say that with heavy quotation marks.
It'd be a lot easier solving puzzles and, fixing crimes and whatnot if I didn't have to have my hands in my pockets all the time.
We see, he's just got to put across that he's the hard man. And, nothing can faze him, and, it's just like, oh, just sod off, Chalmy, go back to your wife's cakes.
I always enjoyed the fact that Layton and Charmy are voiced by the same person.
I know, it's great.
Chelmy, I know some yoga postures that'll get rid of that kink in your shoulders, right out. Just kind of keep doing it, and you'll just kind of smooth out over time.
Yeah, if you're not careful, you'll turn to Chuck D. Head from Decapitate.
That's an interesting reference, but I'm kind of glad you made that.
You get what I'm talking about, don't you, Rich?
No.
It's the Sega property with, the mummy guy who has the orange head, but it's in the chest area, and a skull for a head.
Absolutely no idea.
Did you never read Sonic the comic? It had a Decapitate strip in it.
No.
Well.
You didn't enjoy the things I enjoyed?
How dare you?
I think it's because Sonic the comic was more of a thing, when I was not really old enough to know what comics were.
Yeah, to be fair, it ended probably around, I would say, when you were 4 or 5 or so.
Yes, that's before I would have even thought about going into reading comics, and to be fair, I've never really read comics anyway, so...
Barton's obligatory cameo turns up at the end of every Marvel movie.
I kind of want to go to the UK and just kind of listen as how they, converse to each other doing normal activities. I want to hear all the different like, varying slang they use. Because I say this, because I heard a story about somebody who lives in England. He worked for a company, and when they let him go, it says, I think the phrase they said was, well, it's time to pack it in. You know, that's like the slang they use for that kind of thing. So, I don't know, that just kind of interests me. There's a little bit of interest in how language develops, and it's always kind of nice to see where it leads.
Well, yeah, I mean, just give us a minute, Doc. I'll just pop off for a minute and then we'll be sorted, right?
The fuck did you just say?
Yeah, so you lost me here too, dude.
Yeah, I've been talking to Americans for so long, I can't interpret proper British anymore.
Right, so I'll run you through it. So, give us a minute. Give us a minute.
Right.
And then I can't exactly remember where else I went with that. I think I said I'll pop off for a minute. So, like, just go off somewhere. And then it'll be right. So it'll be good.
Now that's confusing, because pop off can also mean throw a tantrum and whatnot, doesn't it?
I'm not aware of that one, but you see, this is the variant of slang. Sometimes it can mean anything.
I think the correct use of that idiom is when a fight's going off, like, oh, shit's popping off, although I think that may be American.
That sounds pretty crunk, yeah. Oh man, it's like how these days the term is, oh, this is getting lit. I'm like, who came up with this? Why does it represent the thing it does, and how can I get you to stop?
Darling, the bonfire is now lit. Ah, wonderful. Throw the heathens on.
I think the only bit of awful slang that I think needs to happen is fetch. Because, like, seriously, it's just so fetch.
Didn't they make that happen at an award show one time? Anyway, I'm getting off track here. This is one of you gotta cut in certain places sort of puzzle, so I'm not gonna ask you to solve this one, Haldrag, because dictating it would be ridiculous.
I think I know how you're supposed to do this, though. Like, it's mostly, like, L shapes.
Yes. Also, the struggle I had telling Tom where to put the cuts was, oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Rich.
It's not your fault, it's just one of those where it's just like, how do I explain this?
He's so stupid, he doesn't understand basic English.
Turns out he's building a doghouse for himself to live in after his wife kicked him out.
Aw, poor guy. But we're not done with him yet.
Just poke him until he jiggles. Oh man, he is having a lot of problems cutting boards. I'm so glad they assigned him to build something, you know?
You see, this is because his name is Balsa.
Ah.
Balsa. Wood.
Yes, I know, I'm not enabling that, I'm just gonna let that pass.
Yeah.
The answer is 5.
Good. I think we figured out what it looks like, guys, now get to it. Now, who the fuck cuts a board like this? By the way, let's just kind of ask this question. When he's just sitting there on the radio, do-do-do-do.
There you go.
I mean, my assumption is that somebody needed a massive a massive wooden 5 or an S, and so they were just like, right, let's get in. Although, to be fair, what you'd do is you'd cut it from the side, so that you'd go in and then round, like that, so you'd have more on one end than the other. So that puzzle's kind of a bit ridiculous, but...
Hey bro, I need a piece of board shaped like that S you doodle in your notebook at school. Could you get me one of those?
Oh, the Superman S, classic. Wasn't there some sort of, like, cow celebration going on right now?
Yeah.
Sound really dejected and downtrodden there, Eldragon, you okay?
Ah, well, I mean, like, I can only imagine the kind of categories they have for, like, a cow competition. A best cow named, Bessie. You know, that kind of thing. The winner is Bessie.
Oh, who'd have thunk it? Creamiest milk? That's a category?
How do you taste test that, in a sanitary way? Because don't you have to, like, purify that shit?
Well, you can, but I imagine there's, like, a small percentage of people who drink unpasteurized milk.
Well, raw diets are a thing, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think you would also have Best Actress in a Disney movie.
Oh, you're trying to be sassy, aren't you, Richie?
Fucking Home on the Range, piece of goddamn shit.
Well, that's not what I was thinking of, but that makes sense, actually.
The guy on the right is, I think, the Marco of Professor Layton and Pandora's box. You remember Marco, don't you, THD?
Marco Pauly, one of the two, the man who's just like screaming at fucking everything all the time.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay,
miss
that's
those
the
guys.
guy. Who the fuck is Marco then? Why did that name come to my mind?
I don't know. Pauly had that certain kind of appeal where it seems like he would just flip his shit about fucking everything ever. This man at least has a very specific goal in his anger,
Yeah, he's not gonna like scream at the balloons. Fucking balloons!
No, well, I mean, he's screaming about cows. That cow's not mine. He's just shouting at a balloon.
Oh, you're gonna love the outcome of this, by the way. It's karma in its purest form.
Oh god, this really is Home on the Range. Ugh.
You ever watch that, Risher?
Thankfully, no, but
Yeah,
I'm sure I will.
don't.
I will one day, if only because I want to have my Disney collection be complete.
Also,
But-
there's a commentary of said film coming out. I would wager after this part goes up.
I would think so. Yes.
This is my type of puzzle title.
Yes, misinformation.
I always struggle with this one for some reason.
So, this is one of those logic puzzles where you've got to figure out. So you've got to go through each of the statements and see whether they are correct and what's right and what's wrong.
Uh-huh.
Because, obviously, if A's correct, then that will make certain other ones wrong, and blah 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 blah.
These kind of puzzles, I need like a fucking spreadsheet for these. Like, no, they'll have like these kind of logic puzzles where they're like, this person is assigned to this thing, they brought this thing, that kind of stuff, and they'll give you clues and they give you like a grid where you can just kind of mark out possibilities. I like those puzzles a lot, actually. Those are some of my favorite puzzles. It's just that it takes a while for me to work them out, as with most logic puzzles.
Well, I do like logic puzzles, but they can, veer wildly from extremely simple to how the fuck was I supposed to figure that out at the drop of a hat? That's my trait. I keep wanting to say Fiora. Jesus Christ, get off the screen.
Yeah, Flora, I deal with cows all the time.
It just goes on and on and on and on.
One hit cow or something. There you go, best cow in show.
Polly, too, is furious.
What surprise than anything.
Also, I love that the cow is called Mutilda.
Behemoth.
Behemoth.
That's some Final Fantasy cow, ain't it?
Yeah, suddenly Behemoth. So yeah, the irony is, if he had not raised a stink and had the cows swapped back so they're, with their correct owners, he would have won.
Mm-hmm.
That's karma for you.
Yeah, if he cheated, Luke, maybe he could have gone somewhere with his life. I think we've all learned a valuable lesson today.
Duly noted, Professor.
Always cheat!
Alright, we got a look and see sort of scenario here.
Just run around screaming, "Are you Mr. Anderson?"
Mr. Anderson.
So we're basically going to get a Where's Wally puzzle, which is quite nice.
Turn the page. Oh, he's there. He's the only person on the page.
Yeah, man, Waldo's really not trying anymore.
Reminds me of that fucking Michael McIntyre bit where he wanted some peace and quiet from his kids. So what happened was he collared Wally in. So they were just searching forever. It's cruel, but you can't deny it's effective.
That is fantastic. Like, that's hilarious, man.
Also, the line "Clothes maketh the man"?
Huh?
It's from Hamlet.
There you go. These puzzles I kind of like as well, to make sure that, there's nothing repeated.
My theory.
Well, I'm pretty sure one of those old men were dressed like Steven Universe, don't quote me on that.
We're from a single... Oh, he's got 3 stars. He's 3 times the Steven.
All of them totally look like the original Hamlet, which the line is based off of. It makes sense they would pick that for this puzzle.
This dude's hat is far too sideways. It looks like he's about to challenge Layton to a gangster rap.
I'm pretty sure I saw this dude on, like, the cover of a Living Color album, back in the 90s.
Yeah, and it just feels like he's gonna go, now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like you to take a minute, just sit right there, and tell you how I became a professor of the University of Gressenheller.
Well, that was an alternate turn that I wasn't expecting, I guess.
Yes, I really should have gone Gressenheller University, but it wouldn't have rhymed anyway, so it's no problem.
See, this dude has, like, the same problem, but also his head is too big and his hat is too small. And because his hat is too small, it just draws attention to how bulbous and balloon-like his head is.
And he's missing, like, an ascot or whatever, because he looks pretty white.
Alright, who is Mr. Anderson, Helldragon?
Person taking the photo?
No. It is, in fact, this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he's a real gentleman, he's got a cane, he's got a little beard, and he's got a hat. He's just lost it for the time being.
Now, to be fair, for that gentleman bit, I would have to observe him in public to understand his behavior, because you can't really tell that visually.
Yeah, I suppose so. Although, the series makes use of the word gentleman to describe Layton over and over, so I guess you're just supposed to learn that kind of thing off by heart.
Mr. Layton, would you like to see this park I made full of cloned dinosaurs?
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
He just gave me that vibe, I don't know why.
Finally making some headway. Well, at least he knows about it.
Professor Layton and the time he stayed home wouldn't be a very good game, I think.
Oh, music kicked out. We're about to get some precious lore.
It's referred to as Pandora's Box, depending on what region you live in, of course.
That diabolical / Pandora's / what, there's no different name? Oh, Devil's Box, there we go.
Yes. Oh, I love this song so much. So this is Iris music box version, and just... Oh!
And if you're playing the Japanese version of the game, this has a lyrical version that plays during the credits, and it's very, very heart-wrenching. As a whole, I love the ending of Pandora / Diabolical Box. I'm not going to give anything away, but I feel it's a lot more heartfelt than Curious Village's ending.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think Pandora's Box is the first game that really set the precedent for, like, just the tears flowing at the end of a Layton game. And then that basically became my milestone to tell whether a Layton game had done its job properly.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that I prefer Lost Future is because it made me double dip in my ugly crying. Because I started crying at one point, composed myself, and then it killed me again, and I was just like, for God's sake, but I loved it. Spectre's Call, a little bit, wasn't much. Miracle Mask, absolutely nothing. I was just like, yeah, I saw this coming, just move on, please. And then Azran Legacy, that I was back to the ugly crying again, because it was just like, oh, it's so beautiful, and so it just brings it all back together.
Very, happy feeling going on right now. Talk of legacies, talking of, families and whatnot. And that's the thing I like about these whole, countryside villages and whatnot. The community is, very tight-knit. Just be careful you don't get one of those, communities like in The Wicker Man. That's something you've got to watch out for.
Or, you could end up in a village community like the ones in the Agatha Raisin series.
The League of Gentlemen. This is a local puzzle for local people. You aren't welcome here.
Or Hot Fuzz.
Indeed.
Oh, that's such a good film.
What you thinking? Pub or puzzles?
What Cornetto?
I could just keep quoting the film and putting fucking Layton bits in there. You're a professor. Deal with it. Yeah, motherfucker. Alright, I guess we're done here. We've gleaned all the facts about the Elysian box that we can, so yeah, time to leave.
Alright, Flora, get in the back and push the train. We'll get there.
The latest innovation in train technology, pushed by side characters.
The train is almost on time.
Ah, thank you, ghost of Charles Dickens.
Okay, at least it's not the funky phantom, because that is one Revolutionary War ghost that I do not need to associate with.
Yes. Don't tell Mr. Anderson. He must not know the secrets of his daughter's goodbye party.
Do you take care of the place while the master is away? You guys aren't gonna get that, I think.
Now, I don't think we are. You will have to explain your reference.
Oh, it's Manos, the Hands of Fate. It's that, one famous episode of MST3K.
I just remember the fucking wizard one. Remember to believe in magic, or I'll kill you. Alright, Pearl, let's do this. Second verse, same as the first.
But now it's apples and... Oh good, it's just one of these types of puzzles.
Man, this Johnny guy, he is cool. I mean, look at him. He's like this short little dude with like this kicking afro. That's nuts.
Oh god, Johnny and Thomas.
And they're gonna collab together on a playthrough. Watch out.
This should do the trick.
They both have apples. I've figured it out.
Ha! Wonderful.
You know that's basically every maths exam question ever. It's just like, Johnny has X amount of apples, Thomas has Y amount of apples. If Johnny gives Z amount of apples to Thomas, and Thomas loses A amount of apples, how many apples does Timothy have?
Now, I want them to do a math problem that combines every single similar math problem in the world into, like, one thing. Johnny has 5 apples. If he leaves Philadelphia at 55 miles per hour, just like, that kind of thing. That would be bonkers.
If Company A releases game in December, and Company B releases game in December, how much richer will Company A be than Company B? The answer? Company A was Nintendo, and the game was Sun and Moon.
Yeah, just don't pirate it, otherwise they'll ban you.
Oh, yeah. This is a sort of similar setup to where Flora comes from, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just not quite as oppressive, because you don't have that massive tower. And also, there's a party going on here, so it's kind of hustle and bustle, and she's not quite used to that.
True. Wait a minute. Oh, God. Alright, here we go.
I need an adult. I am an adult.
Oh, no. Master Hand and Crazy Hand.
You forgot to put the leash on her, jeez.
Luke looks really angry. Well, instead of, getting angry, maybe you should have, been keeping an eye on her.
Well, yeah, but he was a bit busy focusing on other things.
Oh, she's fine. It's all good.
I ran off to the bathroom, Luke. I don't need to tell you that.
Yeah, we have a child and parent scenario in Asda right now.
Yes. And I bet how dragging you're sitting here just going, what the hell is an Asda?
Yeah.
Which is ironic because Asda was a purely British chain of supermarkets as far as I'm aware, but now it's owned by Walmart.
Yes. So, Asda is Walmart, is Asda.
Remember, you are the Walmart.
Okay, so we have to re-find Romy the Vagrant.
I think this will be easy to do.
Question, did they tell Flora about the Elysian box? I don't know if they did.
Well, probably you're meant to infer that she knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, it would be very, very odd if they were on this quest and hadn't told Flora anything about the box that they're looking for.
Yeah, that'd be a real shit move, Layton. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm just checking. Alright. I can't decide what my hair's gonna be like today. I guess I'll just try them all. Well, yes, Nintendo made about 50 of them, and they won't make any more due to demand.
Well, the mini Elysian boxes sell out so fast.
You know, I thought about getting one of those, but I think I'm going to hold off until they make, like, a mini SNES, or, God forbid, actually, this would be cool. If they do, like, a mini N64.
That'd be neat.
Like, yeah, I would actually cash in on that shit, because that would be kind of cool, because I always wanted an N64 as a kid, but that never really panned out.
Well, it wouldn't have stuff like GoldenEye or Banjo-Kazooie, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know how we're looking for the Elysian box?
Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
And seeing as we've still got another 10 odd minutes of this, at least, of this part left.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to do you a little bit of a history lesson on the word Elysian?
Sure, mate.
Ah, here we go.
So, obviously you've got Elysian, but what people would probably more recognise is Elysium,
Uh-huh.
So basically, Elysium, or the Elysian Fields, is a conception of the afterlife.
Yeah, I know that much, yeah.
Yeah, developed over time and was maintained by some Greek religious and philosophical sects and cults.
That's why I know it. I actually look into Greek mythology and legends and stuff.
Yeah, so initially it was separate from the realm of Hades.
Uh-huh.
Admission was reserved for mortals related to the gods and other heroes. Later it was expanded to include those chosen by the gods, the righteous and the heroic, where they would remain after death to live a blessed and happy life, indulging in whatever employment they had enjoyed in life. So basically, it's the Greek version of heaven in a way.
Gotcha.
They were, according to Homer, located on the western edge of the earth by the stream of Okeanos. And in the time of the Greek oral poet Hesiod, Elysium would also be known as the Fortunate Isles, or the Isles of the Blessed, located in the Western Ocean at the end of the earth. The Isles of the Blessed would be reduced to a single island by the Theban poet Pindar, describing it as having shady parks, with residents indulging in athletic and musical pastimes. The ruler of Elysium varies from author to author. Pindar and Hesiod named Kronos as the ruler, while the poet Homer in the Odyssey describes fair-haired Rhadamanthus dwelling there, so it varies a lot. But basically, Elysium is paradise, but it's also the afterlife. So it's sort of... so the box, even in its name, is associated with death.
Well,
It's just, it's a lovely type of death.
What a cheery lesson.
yeah, right?
Well, you see, not all lessons can be sugar and rainbows.
That is unfortunately true, yep.
Alright, we've got a flag-based puzzle coming up. Let's do this shit.
Oh, ooh.
Well, I just hope when we're trying to capture the flag, my fucking team will get on the objective for once in their fucking lives.
That anger was real. You're holding stuff back, Eldragon.
Hey man, I used to play Team Fortress 2, and let me fucking tell you. I mean, I still get this in Overwatch, but not as much these days. I think people have learned how to get on the fucking payload, but still.
This puzzle's a bit tricky, because not only do you have to mix, like, you know, the colours presented to you, the colour white also counts.
Uh-huh. Because obviously the puzzle is saying you've got to come up with every possible combination, and you can incorporate the colour of the flag. So it becomes, you've got to multiply by 4, but then also you've got to go all of the different combinations you can have. So that's a nice little code breaker puzzle there.
Oh, fucking goblins and their tricks.
That reminds me, you know, with like a 3-section kind of thing, how many sections of like 3-section ice cream, how many variants can you make that people will only eat the chocolate part of it and leave the rest?
All of them?
Yeah, very true. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just taking a moment to process your nose. I mean, we had Pearl over there that was like all the way out. Yours is just like, I'm gonna be a nose. Nope. I'm giving up. I'm going back. I'm done.
Are you related to those dinosaurs with the really thick skulls that bash into each other like goats do?
Yeah, I'm starting to think it's maybe one of those. Yeah.
Well, you know, whatever. It's either that or reference the old Madeline cartoon, you know?
I actually watched that. Like, it used to be, what was it on? I think it was on, like, ABC Kids, like, before they had the one Saturday morning. This was back when they had, like, Sonic and shit, you know. No, I'm not going to mention that. No, I'll have to tell that later. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever actually heard of that series at all.
I was young when I watched it, so you would have been in the pre-fetus stage at the time.
Yeah, that's...
And as we all know, reception during that stage is very bad.
Yeah, we've all seen this type of puzzle before. If you've ever been in school and you've done arts and crafts, they'll essentially have you make a cube at one point or another.
I'm not sure what that'll have to do with helping you get a job down the line. I assume back in the day they used to have cube making factories before they outsourced all that to Asia, of course.
Mate, how would, many subjects help you get a job? Like, geography, for example. As long as you know where the job is, you sure as shit don't need to know where, fucking Canada is located on a map.
Actually, kind of related to that, you know, calculus, right?
Uh-huh.
You know how it, initially appears very complicated for no reason. You know, a while back I spoke with Nuk Talili, who also, does playthroughs on YouTube, and he told me, because this guy has done teaching before, he said that, the way calculus can be set up is at the beginning it's very kind of deliberately complicated and kind of makes no sense, but actually calculus has a ton of real-world applications, and once you get past that initial phase, you can see how it all clicks and how actually really viable it is for a lot of industrial engineering, computer modeling work you have to do if you're into those kind of fields. So, personally, I just believe, if you're gonna try to teach somebody something, you need to kind of connect it with, you have to give them a reason. You have to give them a good incentive to do it. And if you tie it right away into real-world applications, I find that's a lot easier than just kind of throwing it at them and expecting them to learn it without giving them a real incentive why.
Yeah, because your brains need, some sort of stimulation to be able to process and log this stuff away. You can't just say, okay, learn it. Why? No, just learn it.
Because I'm an adult, that's why.
To be fair, that's probably half of the problem with quite a lot of schooling systems across the globe, really, is that you're given academic things to do, for the most part, where as a teenager and as a kid, your mind's just going, when am I ever going to use this? So if teachers gave you, saying, this is what we're going to learn, this is how you would use it in real life, then that would actually incentivize people to go, well, okay, this is worth learning, and therefore I will do it. Because as it stands, so many students just go, I'm never going to need this again, so I'm not going to bother.
Exactly. People need purpose in their lives for anything they do. And the sooner you can tie anything you do into that, the better. I mean, I'm saying this as sort of a lot of it partially real-world experience based on, how I've realized I work. So you've got to have that. Otherwise, not much is going to happen, I'm afraid.
Oh, we're getting into the dangerous realms of the white lie, gentlemen. How will this gentleman deal with that?
Well, it's only a little white lie, and you see, it's not exactly our responsibility, and to be fair, we don't really know anything that's going on, so it's not like we're exactly lying, we're just not telling him the whole truth. And also, we're kind of saying, well, we've kind of got to go, so...
Yeah, we're on...
See ya.
Mr. Anderson, my train is going to leave. I might not see her, sorry.
We're on a time limit here, bye. Well, she's never going to be brought up again in the story, so goodbye.
No, I have to say, they've spent enough time on her to say that she's going to be important in some form or another.
And it's Chekhov's gun for you.
Oh, Romy, don't you know me? Oh, wait, you do know us. Oh, that's a nice change of pace. Yep, we already know about the destructive capabilities of the box, unfortunately. Yeah, what are you looking for? What is your purpose in life, Senor Romy?
Mr. Layton, I'm looking for America.
No. So, Beluga has the monopoly on being able to visit this phantom town. Man, you fucking... You play your cards right? You can go for some dope Halloween-themed, specials right now. I think that would be pretty cool. Well, no one ever said getting to the Phantom Town would be easy.
And he's the vagabond. He should know anything about getting to places where he doesn't belong.
Ooh.
Like a home, for example. You ne'er-do-well, you penniless bum! Oh, thank God. Back on the train. I've had enough of Hicksburg over here.
It's so funny how I have not seen Romy and Flora in the same place twice. I'm watching you, kid.
Ooh.
Although, admittedly, it'd be kind of weird if that turned out to be a man this whole time. I mean, I just don't... I would just be stunned myself.
Yeah, for sure. Sammy Thunder. Ow!
Ow!
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toe, though.
Yeah, Sammy Thunder, that's my gig, man.
Alright, one last puzzle before we can get back on the train.
It's always the way. There's always one last puzzle until there are no more puzzles.
What if you don't solve the puzzle? Like, nobody else can get on because the door is locked? Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's just running back and forth, preventing people from getting through the doors.
Whoa, man, he's rocking out on this. It will cost £2 each time. Unfortunately, since Sammy does not have a job, he can't really afford this.
Well, no, he does have a job. He's a conductor on a train.
I have a feeling Beluga does not pay him that well, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean...
The answer is cheap nepotism.
There you go.
My theory. Ha! Wonderful.
I can finally get on the train that I paid for, with my money. Nice. Because that's about a week's worth of wages. Alright, all aboard, baby!
As you know, trains are very good at rocking the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of vehicles that I am on rocking too much, you know?
Well, it's fine because then you just suplex them and then they'll be quiet.
There you go. Man, I sure hope Mr. Anderson, the master, doesn't come out and see this going on.
Thank you so much.
Turns out she just wants to go to college this whole time. We shouldn't stop her.
I see you. I am judging you!
Yo.
Do you have any of them puzzles? Guess not.
Huh, that was awkward.
What's going on over there?
Certainly voiced.
I believe we may have stumbled upon Mr. Anderson's dear daughter.
That's a cracking send-off she's having.
Hey, watcher!
Don't you know?
Considering the size of the party, I doubt she's just going on holiday.
Yeah, well, whatever destination she's headed to, it's gotta be important. So much so, it gets a spot on the mystery screen. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time when we head back on board the Voluntary Express. Goodbye for now.